Okay, yeah, it's another game. Season isn't over. Feels like it sometimes, but we got another game this week. It's week 4, only week 4, and Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. Battle of Titans. 0-3 versus 0-3. One of two of those this week. The other 0-3 teams are Denver and Chicago, and they're playing each other. So if we lose this one, we're going to be one of just 2 left without a win. This has not been a pleasant, month. It's the last day of September. Maybe we just get out of the month, but this has not been a very pleasant month for Vikings fans, namely me. And this has been a bad week in this fandom. Just the residual effect of the collapse at the end last week and blowing that game, and then all the controversy that comes up. I don't even remember if I mentioned it in the recap I did, but about mentioning the fans, the noise generated from the fans when you're supposed to shut the fuck up because quiet offense at work. There's been a lot of talk about that. I don't put a lot of stock into that because it's it hurts. You want your home field advantage. That's one of the things of home field advantage is you get the crowd noise when you want it, not when you don't want it. But I don't put a lot of stock in that. And obviously there's been more and more Kirk hate. The Kirk Cousins or Angel Syndrome people. They're loving life right now, even though Kirk's numbers are fantastic, and it's not about numbers. That's one of the things these people insist is that the Kirk supporters, all we care about is that Kirk's stats are good. We don't care if there's a win or loss. Yeah, go fuck yourself. You're so wrong. I've been miserable all week because the Vikings lost that game. I don't care what Kirk's numbers were. I care about the loss, and so does Kirk. But the tank Nazis are just you can't look at anything Vikings related online anymore without seeing 50 people talking about we have to tank. And I just have no time for this. I have no time for these people. I have no time for this narrative. It's just wrong. You people are wrong. If any tank Nazis watch this, you're wrong. And even Justin Jefferson came out in his media presser this weekend he was asked some question about it, and it's like, we're not gonna try to lose. And that's another thing with Jefferson. There was this weird controversy for a day where he posted something on his Instagram. I guess it was about his breakup with his girlfriend or something like that, and Vikings fans immediately took it to mean that he wants out of Minnesota. I don't understand this desire from so many in this fan base for Justin Jefferson to become a me first, look at me diva, the way we've had, the way some other receivers that we've had over the years, like Moss, like Diggs, like Percy Harvin. I don't know why people want that they want him to be this kind of person. He's not. Maybe behind the scenes maybe this is all just a facade. Maybe behind the scenes he is. We've seen nothing to indicate that he's actually like this, and then he's going to be like demanding a trade or anything. But yeah, this fan base is just screwed up in the head. I mean, it's miserable. You can't. I mean, I understand being miserable at 0-3. I'm miserable at 0-3, but to just the lashing out at everybody, like, obviously the Kwesi hate is skyrocketed into space. It's unbelievable. Like, everybody seems to want Kwesi gone, which is stupid. Yeah, right now he's been a middling GM especially in terms of some of his draft picks, but you're not going to fire a GM in year 2 unless there's some fiasco, like off the field misconduct, something like that, like what happened with the Timberwolves like a year or 2 ago. But we've made it to another game at the Panthers. I sure hope we win this one because we all know who's coming into US Bank Stadium next Sunday, and that's going to be that could be a bloodbath. Although I think we could probably score with the Chiefs. I don't see how we can stop them. But so as far as this game, the big story is the Adam Thielen reunion. Um, first game against the Vikings. He had a big game last week against Seattle, even though they lost. But he's I haven't really been checking his stats. I don't think he did much the first two games, but now that was with Andy Dalton at the quarterback. Now Bryce Young is going to play in this game. Their hotshot rookie. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for the Vikings. You would think that maybe Flores can cook up something to throw a very new quarterback off his game. Obviously, Andy Dalton, he's beaten us various times with different teams. I wasn't too keen about playing him. But you got to watch out for Bryce Young. At this point, you can't just take anything for granted. With it's like, we're playing a rookie quarterback in his fourth or his third game. We should be able to stop him. Well, you don't know. You just don't know. Like, everything Flores tried last week against the Chargers failed. It just wasn't working, and maybe nothing's going to work. Injuries. Lewis Scene's out. We're gonna miss him. He's really been a heavy contributor. It's really unfortunate with him. I mean, you try to hold out hope for a guy, especially when he's been hurt, but he's a bust. He's going to be a bust, and it sucks that you make that interdivision trade. The value of the picks was not the problem, but what we got out of that trade was the problem. It just wasn't worth the trouble, and I think the best we can hope for with Scene at this point is maybe he becomes a serviceable player, maybe even a starter, but I wouldn't even count on that at this point. It's a bust. It's a bust pick, and it's unfortunate. I don't think he's trying to be a bust. That's another thing that's been a little, aggravating with Vikings fans lately is anytime a guy's hurt, it's like the personal attacks at players is really, unless someone says or does something to really show like that they don't give a shit or that they don't care. Let's lay off on the personal attacks with injuries. Marcus Davenport is questionable. Maybe he'll play. That would be nice. I'm hoping he can be like the reverse Za'Darius Smith, where last year we had Za'Darius early in the season, really effective, got banged up, and then was basically a non-factor late in the season. Maybe we can get a reverse with Davenport, because right now that's another one that's not looking too good in the Kwesi ledger, because that was a significant signing, just a 1-year signing, but he's done nothing, and I don't know. That's frustrating. Believe Bradbury is considered questionable. I'm not sure you even have to worry too much about Bradbury. Like, Schlottmann's been okay. That's another one. Big one is Dalton Reisner. I believe he is. I think he's going to start. I mean, KOC was asked about it this week, and he was getting a lot of reps with the first team, both at left and right guard. But I mean, come on, if you're gonna stick him out there tomorrow, which I think they will, it's replacing Ed Ingram. It has to be. I don't know how you justify replacing Cleveland. Not that Cleveland is, an all-pro, but he's better than Ed Ingram. So we'll see what happens with that. Cam Akers should get on the field this time. That was another one of the things. There's so much this week. KOC came out pretty harsh against some of the turnover stuff, basically saying, if this doesn't stop, people are gonna see the bench, and obviously that you have to think that one of those people who might see the bench is Alexander Mattison, even though he had pretty good statistical game last week. He was saved barely from 2 fumbles. So they got to stop turning the ball over. If they turn the ball over, if they have another turnover fest in this game, I swear to God, man, it's going to be just these things. So much of this stuff is like luck. Like an interception is kind of like, it's more of like scheme, but fumbles are just such weird bounces of the ball. Like sometimes the ball bounces and it bounces to the other team. We got a strip sack on Herbert last week. The ball bounced right to him and he fell on it. It's just how it goes. We haven't gotten shit. I think we got one fumble last week, but it's been rough. Kirk's been balling out. I expect him to have a big game. I expect JJ to have a big game. I hope the run game stays productive. Last week it was pretty good. Defense, we'll see. I mean, I think the expectations, even especially for me, were too high for expecting Brian Flores not to be a miracle worker, but to even come close to being a miracle worker, because this defense is very bad, and I don't know that Carolina can take advantage of that. But boy, if they're putting up in the high 20s tomorrow or higher, it's going to be, I don't know who they're going to stop. I would hope if it's just blitz that maybe Flores decides, hey, maybe let's try something a little different. It's almost like the reverse of Donatel. Donatel never fucking tried going after the quarterback at all. Flores is trying to go after the quarterback on every play. There has to be a middle ground somewhere. I hope we find it. So I guess that's about it for the week. I want to do a happy video. I haven't. I mean, as regards to an actual game, there hasn't been a Vikings win since the last week of the regular season last year, and even that was kind of a meaningless win. Where we had backups in there for half the game. Like, we haven't had a win, like a win to celebrate. Not even preseason. Who cares about those games? But still, we haven't had a win. It's going to be October 1st. We haven't had a win since, early January. We need one. We need one desperately. If we get this win, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means that, maybe we're turning the season around because we've got the Chiefs and 49ers, 2 of the next 3 after this. I don't, like, if you want to have any chance, you've got to get this win, and you got to win against the Bears in 2 weeks and hope to maybe steal one of those other 2 games to kind of get yourself, back in some contention, because, you lose. I mean, if you lose this game, you're 3 back in the division because Detroit beat Green Bay the other night. And I still don't really think Detroit's that good, because frankly, I think Green Bay is pretty bad, and the Bears are really bad, and right now we're really bad, and we don't want to let Detroit just take this division without a fucking fight. I mean, this was our division last year. We're just going to give it up without a fight. I hope we have some fight. Hopefully, maybe this game will be the one I thought last week. I thought last week they were going to come out pissed off and mad and really play sharp. Maybe this will be the game they come out pissed off, mad, and play really sharp. Be nice if we did. Be nice if they could get a big win and maybe blow a team out for once. That ain't what we do. I'm sure it'll be tense in the fourth quarter. And the season is dangling off a cliff right now. And if we lose this game, like, I know there's probably a wild card or 2 in the NFC that might get in like 9-8, but even that means you got to go 9-4 the rest of the way. So eventually, even in a longer season, you're gonna run out of games. We gotta win some games, man. I think they're gonna win this one. I thought they'd win week 1 and week 3 too, but I think they're gonna get it done in this game. I think it'll be in like 31-20 range, something like that. I hope. But again, if I'm doing a recap video tomorrow in a bad mood, I really I already think the season is just about gone, but it's really going to be gone if we lose this game. So Vikings, please don't lose this game.